On Living a Sex Positive Life, we explore all aspects of human sexuality. We talk about the good and the bad, the health and healing benefits, the adventures and the relationships, as well as the crimes and the tragedies. We strive to be an advocate and an empowering force in the fight for sexual freedom. Our mission is to educate, entertain, and talk about the touchy subject that affects us all, sex. Now here's your host, Angelique Luna.
Good evening, everyone. It's Angelique Luna here. I'm with my co-host, partner in crime, troublemaker, IT specialist, and I don't know what else today, John C. Luna.
Exhausted, but we'll go with all those titles today.
I know your real day job just killed you today. That's why I'm like, I needed to add a couple more things there. So we're going through crazy times now of the purge. I have to add this real quick because Matt Lauer...
I love how you call it the purge.
It is the purge, okay? Because all this sexual talk, Matt Lauer just got fired, and I was like, oh my God, it's getting good. But...
it's kind of good news for us. They're firing all the entertainment staff. We're going to have to move up in the world.
Yes, and we're going to do it with fun and exciting people like tonight's guest. We have Charlie Powell, who's the founder and CEO for this new revolutionary condom called Galactic Cap. And it's really thin and unique. You'll see the photos, but under the show links, we did add the videos and the information because I find it kind of hard to explain it, but it's so cool. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Angelica and John, thank you for having me. It's wonderful to talk about sex and revolutionary new condom.
Yeah, I try to explain. I did post photos on our Instagram in regards to it, how it looks, how thin. I saw the video, and it's like, wow, it's breathtaking how tiny and how much it holds. It's like I want to say bounty condom.
Well, let's see. I think the thing that got me started was I had a good friend of mine many, many years ago come down with HIV, and I thought there must be something better than a traditional condom. I didn't like them. I didn't wear them. I normally asked my girlfriend, are we protected from having a baby? And if she said yes, we had sex. If she said no, we went looking for a condom, but I didn't like them. So several years later, I designed, developed, and patented this revolutionary new condom called the Galactic Cap. And the thing that makes it so unique is that it fits safely and securely on the head of the penis. It leaves the coronal ridge and shaft exposed for more sexual pleasure, more skin-to-skin contact, but ultimately more condom use around the world. Most people don't know it, but traditional condoms do a poor job of preventing pregnancy and STDs, not because they don't work, but because most men don't wear them. Only 5% of the men in the world wear a condom. In developed nations like the United States, Europe, and Japan, condom usage tops out at only 20%. That means 80% of the guys anywhere in the world are not using a condom.
That's absolutely shocking. For all the sex ed that's out there and how prevalent HIV, and now there's I hear about a medical resistant strain of gonorrhea that's coming. That's been, I think it's, And what would you say, 12% it maxes out at?
Okay, 20% in developed countries. It tops out. So 80% of the men are not wearing anything, and the Galactic Cap doesn't. The big hit on it is, hey, is this going to protect you from STDs and HIV? Well, it's going to reduce those things. This is more a condom for couples. So if you know reasonably who you're with, then you feel more secure using the Galactic Cap because it is going to trap the semen. And a lot of the bad things in STDs like HIV and gonorrhea and syphilis come out of the head, in the form of semen. So the Galactic Cap if you don't have a sore or an abrasion on your skin, you're probably good to go, because healthy skin is a barrier to infection. So if there's no abrasion or sore there, then and there sometimes is, you're pretty good to go. Now.
So it only goes over the top portion of it and leaves the rest of the penis exposed. And the actual, it's able to hold a decent amount of semen in there?
Yeah, so the normal amount of semen, unless you're a porn star, is 1.5 teaspoons. This condom, you can pee in it, and it will blow up like a balloon. So it is very, very strong. So
I get the feeling now that you've said it, someone will test that.
Yeah, well, I think they should. And to tell you the truth, if you want to know if there was any leakage in the Galactic Cap, you might masturbate to start with if you're, concerned about it, and then go to the shower or the toilet and pee in it, and watch it blow up like a balloon. It catches it.
Let me ask you, the material itself, it's probably not latex, is it?
No, it's actually much better than latex, because it's polyurethane, and condoms are already made out of polyurethane. So it uses a medical-grade adhesive, which is approved for use by the FDA on skin, and polyurethane is already used in condoms. Now, we do not have regulatory approval to sell the Galactic Cap. And the FDA has recently come down on us and said, you're going to have to get that approval. And if you saw one of the videos I sent, we're going to raise some capital and get that regulatory approval, probably starting with a CE mark, which is the European equivalent of the FDA. We'll sell it in Europe, and we'll sell it in 75% of the rest of the world, to raise money to come back and get FDA approval. FDA approval costs about $2 million and takes 2 years to go through the clinical trials, et cetera, et cetera. It's really...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's torturous. And, but, I've sold this because I'm so confident that it works, and I've kind of flown under the FDA radar until recently. I got written up into New York Times, the Newsweek, and the Guardian in London. I do no advertising, and I'm sold out all the time. And I sell this condom for $20 for one. It's $10 for, if you buy 10, it goes down to $10. It's a very expensive prototype. We are going to need help raising money, but we're ultimately going to kick Trojan's ass, because they've been selling you a product that you don't like. I did some field marketing, and 96% of all men and women in my survey dislike the condom.
I'll agree with you on that. We all have to use it, but I don't think anyone likes it.
No, and even with the female condoms, people still are like, iffy about it, because they still say it doesn't feel the same sensation. But I think it's better for the guys, because at least they don't have to wear it, and the women can. I don't know.
Well, the biggest thing I've heard from guys is they make one size. Well, now they make two sizes. But yeah, it's basically two sizes of condom, and sometimes it's either strangulation or you're wearing the extra, extra, extra large and you're swimming.
And you're baggy condom.
Well, think about putting some thin plastic over your lips and kissing somebody. There goes the sensation. Actually, Norman Mailer was talking to Madonna, and Madonna was telling him, hey, everybody ought to wear condoms. And he said, Madonna, listen, 50% of your fuck just jumped out the window when you put on a condom, because the thrill of going in for both a man and a woman is, it's reduced by 50%. It's not, if you cover skin, you're covering up sensitivity, and that's what people have sex for. They want that thrill, Well, particularly men, but women too. Yeah.
A few years ago, I know they had an issue banning pornography in California without a condom, and a whole bunch of it actually, I know, moved out of California. A whole bunch actually moved over here into Tampa, Florida,
right,
just to get around that law.
Vegas. Right. Yeah. So, I've talked to some people in the porn industry, and I think they're back doing their thing here, but they were actually going to have people wear goggles because you could get semen in your eye and all kinds of crazy things, gloves. So it was, wear a condom, wear rubber gloves and goggles. So, who's gonna watch pornography?
Yeah, that turns a porn into a laboratory video, and that's kind of creepy. Well, some people
sci-fi.
might like that.
Yeah, exactly. Some people like that cosplay. Come on, give me a break. Don't judge. We don't judge on the show.
Yeah. So when I was talking earlier, I mentioned that I had made now I'm not a pornographer. That's not my living, but to show people how the Galactic Cap worked, I made a video with Danny Mountain and Mia Malkova. Mia is the 10th ranked porn star in the world, and they show how the Galactic Cap works, and then they talk about it afterwards, what the benefits were. And let's see, I think John mentioned about the material. It's kind of like, it's not stinky and rubbery like a condom. It's more like like saran wrap in a way. It's clear and it's very pliable. And for a woman doing oral, now you're not getting, for lack of a better word, a cum shot. You're not getting the wet spot on the bed, and you're getting protection, from having a baby. It's primarily focused on pregnancy prevention, and that's how I have to pitch it to the FDA and European CE mark. I can't make claims about STDs and HIV, but I do think it's going to. I mean, that's why I made it. Is I wanted to see, particularly in countries like Africa, they need it, because here's another startling statistic: 30 million people have died from HIV, and 34 million people have it in the world today, and every year 3 million more get it. So it's still, even though in developed countries like the United States, they have drugs to, it doesn't cure it, but it control it. But it's very expensive, and you don't want to get it. And if more people are using the Galactic Cap, that 80% of the guys who are not using anything go, well, hey, this feels good. I'm going to use this. It will reduce STDs and HIV. I can't make the claim that it prevents it, but it will do great good in the world, and so it's.
I was going to say that sounds great.
It is great. I just have to get more people, like you folks, getting the word out. By the way, tomorrow is the last day for sales in the United States, because I'm going to have to get compliant with the FDA and we'll probably get a place like Mexico or Turkey to distribute the product, but for the next, like 2 or 3 months until I get this worked out, we're not going to have any sales in the United States.
It's amazing that it's going to take that long, and obviously cost you quite a bit of money to go through this long process. You said close to what was the quote you gave me on how much it costs to get FDA approved?
Okay, so what I'm making is a gland sheath, which means it covers the head of the penis, right? And no one has ever gotten FDA approval or CE mark approval for that. So it can't go under
something already done.
Something already done. They call that a 510K, like a condom. It can't go under condom testing. It has to have its own tests, and it's going to be lengthy, and they're going to look at it, blah, 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 and, do their FDA thing. But it's 2 years and $2 million. It's crazy.
It sounds like a long process. It sounds like it's fun if you're involved in the process. That's some great testing to do. But from a business side, that's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, particularly since I know that, I have customers, I've been selling it for 2 years, and customers rave about it. It stays on, it traps semen, it feels fantastic, and they love it. It's the finest, right now, it's the finest condom in the world.
And there is such a need for it because, when we had the discussion, I went and got a vasectomy, which most guys cringe when they think of that. But, the other option is to have the woman have the surgery, which is an extensive and a possibly dangerous procedure. So to move it to where you have a condom that you can feel most of the sensation, most of the penis is still exposed, and have the skin on skin, but capture the semen is this the first time that someone's come out with this type of device, this type of model, where it only covers part of it?
It's the first time somebody's been successful doing it. There have been a lot of people trying to patent crazy ideas, but my product is proven and it is ready to go. It's ready for clinical trials right now. So that's why I let the New York Times and Newsweek and did all that media, because it's now time to kind of come out from the shadows and get the thing regulatory approval. And when I get the regulatory approval, look out Durex and look out Trojan, because I'm going to come eat your lunch. It's just too good. The product is too good.
Nice. So let me ask you, how long did it take you in, research and development before you were able to start, the last 2 years you said you've been having it in use?
Right. So what I did was, I'm an older gentleman, and I thought, I'd been in film and videotape production for 25 years. I thought, I am going to give this a shot. It's something that needs to be done, and I'm going to do it. So I kept my company going for 2 years. Back in 2012, I took out $50,000 to $60,000 out of a life insurance policy, like kind of retirement thing, and but I kept my business going, and I started developing this thing. And the first idea I had was just, it looked like a little beanie. It looked like a beanie on the head of the weenie. And I raised $100,000 on Indiegogo. I had 1 million views in 3 days. I got written up in the Huffington Post, New York Daily News, UK Daily Mail. It went around the world, translated in German, French, and Spanish. And we were even picked up, and they did a Comedy Central skit on it. and it got a lot of play and a lot of money, you know. So I took that money and I redesigned it because it wouldn't stay on the head of the penis. The head of the penis kind of looks like a fireman's hat, long on one side, short on the other. And on the short side, there wasn't enough skin there to hold the adhesive. So if you see the Galactic Cap now, it kind of looks like a hammerhead shark. And
that's a good word for it. Yes.
And what I call so running down the backside, the short side of the head of the penis is what I call an anchor. So it anchors that short side down, and now it friggin' stays on. I mean, it really stays on. You know, there's no, this thing's going to come off, you know, with vigorous sex. This is, you know, when you're having porn star sex, you know, you want that thing to stay on. I mean, I don't have a product if it doesn't stay on, right?
That's a great way to put it. Rough porn star sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. That's your next marketing campaign right there once you get approval.
Yeah. So it is fun, and it's been funny. My wife thought I was absolutely crazy getting this thing started, but once I raised that $100,000, she kind of toned it down a little bit. The other thing that happened was, along about this time, the Gates Foundation came out with a challenge grant to anybody who could come up with the next generation condom. And I thought, Jesus Christ, this is perfect. And I applied for that foundation grant, and I told my investors, listen, invest in this thing. If I don't get this thing from the Gates Foundation, I'll give you back all your money. And lo and behold, I didn't get it.
Oh.
And that is because now the Gates Foundation is kind of like they farm these things out to doctors, and they're on committees. And what they did was they thought, well, this is a radical idea, and this isn't going to slow down STDs and HIV because it doesn't cover the full penis. So they awarded, and I'd like to kick their ass. They awarded $1.1 million to 11 groups and individuals for the next generation condom. And you have never heard of any of them because they're all floundering now because they all cover the full penis. And what I like to say is the Gates Foundation just rearranged the deck chairs on the Titanic because they are not going to increase condom usage around the world because they don't feel good. Right? It's
the same condom with a same look and feel, right?
Yeah. It's just one has it's made out of cow membrane or some super thin material, but I don't care how thin the material is. If it's not skin, it's not doing it. It's not the real deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, and the New York Times writer told me, I've interviewed all these people and they're all struggling because how are they going to come up with $2 million and do 2 years of work when they basically have the same condom that Trojan and Durex have? They're not going to do it. Mm-hmm. But by God, I will. I'm gonna raise $500,000, get a CE mark, and I'm going to come bear hunting for these guys.
Nice.
Now, is it easier to get a CE mark versus an FDA? Because, I mean, just hearing the numbers, you said it's $500,000 that you would need for a CE versus $2 million for FDA.
Yeah, so I could get a CE mark in probably 6 to 9 months, and 25% of the cost of the FDA, right? So a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people go overseas you still have to do clinical trials and test it, and it still has to have all the documentation and be done in a FDA type facility, for quality control. But the FDA is just ridiculous. It's what I find crazy is the FDA will let the opioid scandal go on where it's killing people, and because all of those pharmaceutical companies have money and they lobby the Congress, and somehow they're pumping opioids into the country. And where was the FDA when that was going on?
It seems like the FDA is a monster that the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and no one's responsible.
Except for the money that's exchanged between people and politicians.
Right.
I can't really attest to that.
Yeah. So the FDA is the gold standard. If you get it, it's kind of like the good housekeeping seal of approval. It's because you've gone through the mill with them, right? But big pharmaceutical companies have ways to get around it, primarily money, money and lobbyists. And I don't have that, but I will skin this cat, and I will come, like I say, big bear hunting for these guys. In the end, I'm very confident that this thing is the future. A lot of times, people can't see the future. I think the guy who did FedEx in college, he created a paper, and the guy gave him like a low C- and said this would never work.
Yeah, that's the case.
Because people can't see the future. And that's kind of why I made that porn video, is because I wanted them to see how easy it was to get on and how it worked. And once you see that, like I say, I went back home and I showed it to my sisters, and they flipped for it because they go, "This is going. This is the real deal."
Unfortunately, in society, you have the scientists will tell you this is the best thing, and that gets you like 10% of the way. And then the porn stars come out and say, "This is the greatest thing," and that gets you the other 90%.
Yeah. Yes. So, I don't know anybody who's not watching some pornography, because at least men, back when I was a teenager, I was looking at, like titty magazines. But now you can dial that stuff up on the internet, and, who doesn't want to look at a beautiful woman, having sex? So,
well, the whole porn industry is undergoing a revolution at the moment. It seems like a lot of our country is right now. But you definitely don't lack enthusiasm and confidence in your product, though, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out of my mind excited about it, because it is the future. It's the future, and it's going to take me a little while to get there. But I got 5,000 customers, and they all love the product. And when I go for this, I'm going to go for a equity crowdfunding campaign shortly, and I'm going to take everybody with me. I don't have to do it myself. Kind of like being a film and videotape producer, because you don't have to do the work yourself. You just have to get good people to help you. It's kind of the Tom Sawyer effect. You get other people to help you paint the fence.
That's the way to do it. You can't do it on your own these days.
Yeah, like Richard Branson. It's like, hey, I don't know how to do it, but I'll delegate it, and I'll find the person who has the smarts and can do it, That's the best way to do it. And I mean, you're doing very well, considering it's all word of mouth. And you said you started this project back in, 2012? Or was it 14?
Yeah, so I started in 2012.
Okay.
I did some development work. I got the beanie, the Galactic Cap beanie. It was a funny story. I did a pitch to some investors in Long Beach in a sports bar, and I'm in there, and it's already kind of done well in Indiegogo and got a lot of press. And I'm pitching to the investors, and I'm showing them the product, et cetera, et cetera. And in walked the manager of the sports bar, and he looked like something out of The Bachelor. He was about 6'2" and gorgeous. And he came over and he goes, "Oh my God," he said, "is that the tip condom?" And my investors go, "Holy shit." Everybody knew about it, right? So, if you get on the internet, you can find it, and that's how all my customers find me. Like I say, I can't advertise because the FDA will come down with big shoes on me. But people want to have sex, and they want to have, the latest and greatest, and so, they find me.
So let me ask you this: I get the condom, I get the need, I like the way you produced it, and the indie funding is great. How'd you come up with Galactic Cap? Because when I was told the other day we're interviewing Galactic Cap, I had to pause for a minute and be like, "Who? What? What?"
That's why I even had a hard time trying to explain it at the beginning too. It's like it's a revolutionary condom. That's all I know.
Okay, so what I did is I'm about 2 days out from getting together with another producer friend of mine to make the video that starts you have to have a video for that Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign. And because I had been a video producer for 25 years, I knew how to do that. But I'm about 2 days away, and I have to come up with a name. So I picked Galactic because it's pleasure that's out of this world. And it caps the penis, so I put those two together. Now, quite frankly, I'm not happy with that name. And it will, once we get the CE mark and the regulatory approval, we will redesign the whole package and the whole name. Maybe we'll call it the Hammerhead by Galactic Cap. Something so that you put the hammer down, something, but it's got to be catchier. My daughter goes, "Dad, that's lame. The Galactic Cap is lame." But, right now I'm not concerned with the name because a rose by any other name would smell as sweet, right? It's not the name, it's does it work?
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm really laser focused on right now. And and I don't want to spend a lot of money redesigning the package. I want this thing to go on easy, trap the semen, feel fantastic, and everybody loves it. And now call it what you will,
Definitely. It sounds like, at first I was thinking the name might have come from some cheesy porn, 70 movies. You know how they did a lot of those alien porn and
Buck Rogers, there we go.
Yeah, the Buck Rogers.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah.
How do we incorporate it with Barbarella? Everyone loves that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was back like 1969 or something, wasn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, it was 60s or 70s. Yeah, with that machine that she broke. It's like, how could you? No one has broken that machine. And for the younger generation, do check it out. It is a sci-fi movie that was, I would thought porn, but was mainstream at the time. So tells you how the ratings changed. No, that was mainstream.
No. It's where Duran Duran got their name.
Well, I know, Dr. Duran Duran. Got to do it with the accent.
Why? How'd they get their name? Like, what was that?
There was actually a character in Barbarella, which was named Dr. Duran Duran, and they named it as a joke. And of course, me being part of Generation X, later on we come out, we know the band Duran Duran, and it wasn't until I saw the movie later on where I'm like, oh, they're not original.
No, they even said it in interviews in the 80s. I'm sorry, I'm a Duranie, so I know all that stuff.
Well, where I grew up, which was New York City, believe it or not, we didn't have cable in the 80s. Yeah,
right.
we had MTV like literally a mile from my home, the place where they were broadcasting, but you couldn't actually watch it in New York because there was some battle with unions and who's installing the cable going on. So we had no clue.
Oh, see, I was special because I lived in Chicago and I got to see when MTV first aired and the first video killed the radio.
But we still have better pizza.
No, we're not having the Chicago pizza debate, okay? No. We have Porcello's.
I still remember it was something like the Orgasmo. I mean, they were playing a piano or like an organ.
It was like almost like an accordion kind of style, the way the machine was working.
Yeah, so she was up to her waist in it, and somehow it got played like an instrument or something, and she broke it or something.
Oh, yeah. Because it was very sexually charged, Barbarella. But again, that was mainstream back in the 60s, not allowed nowadays, so...
Yeah. No, it's allowed, just, it's going to be on Netflix late night. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Skinamax late night. Now it's on Netflix, you can get it anytime.
Yeah. So, so if people want the Galactic Cap, they should go to www.galacticcap.com and order now because, it's going to go away in a day, for U.S. sales.
At the end of tomorrow, that's it. No more U.S. sales until we get... would you say, an overseas shipper and then FDA approval?
Right. And, so overseas shipper, and that's going to take about 2 or 3 months to set up.
So you need to stock up now.
If people want it. Yeah, yes.
Well,
yes.
I'm sorry, my mind goes to an old Seinfeld episode about the sponge, if you remember that one.
Sponge-worthy.
Oh, yeah. Sponge-worthy, yeah.
And they had a contraceptive called the Sponge, which was kind of like a semen sponge. And when they took it off the market, the character from the Seinfeld, Elaine, went out and basically bought a closet full and then rationed using them. And made guys be sponge-worthy if they could actually, because there's only a certain amount now. They don't make them no more. The good news is you'll be back in a few months, but still, you have 24 hours to stock up and get what you can now.
So last day to order in the United States is November 30th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
That's correct.
We're going to call you on Friday then and see, hey, did you get a huge spike in last-minute sales?
I'm hoping. So I'm going to send out a note tomorrow to all my past customers saying, get it in now. No pun intended. Everything I say actually is pun. It's huge.
Yeah, get it now or you won't come later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man, selling condoms, you could just come up with puns left and right. They're just flowing.
Left and right, yeah.
Yeah, so holidays must be interesting conversation at your dinner table there.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting because, because I've made this adult video to correspond to the Galactic Cap and done all kinds of crazy things to get this thing out there. And, dinner conversation's pretty funny. And I've got nieces and nephews and, young, 20-somethings, and they're all a Twitter.
Yes, they are. Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all those things we're still trying to learn at our age.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all good.
Well, cool. Thank you very much for coming on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we've learned quite a bit about your adventures here. This is kind of interesting. So once you get approval, is this going to be like an Amazon thing or an Alibaba thing?
Alibaba.
Oh, you never heard of Alibaba?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's the international version of Amazon. And what happens is there's been a lot of Amazon sellers buying from Alibaba and then turning around selling on Amazon because that's how they make more money. Because they could get it for a third of the price on Alibaba. And Alibaba ships worldwide.
Interesting.
Yeah, Alibaba is like a Chinese, I think.
Yes.
Amazon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's huge. I mean, really huge. Yeah, it's a monster. Well, Amazon too.
Yeah, but Alibaba was giving Amazon a run for its money for a while, and I think it still is in the worldwide market, because I know we just heard that Amazon's trying to break into Australia.
Right. The other thing, I'm going to be lowering the prices. So, to get it, the next price drop is probably going to be $5 a condom, and
nice.
Ultimately get it down to $2.50 a condom. Because then, right now a lot of people, tons of people buy it at $20 a condom, and they love it. But for it to go big boffo, it need to go on Amazon or Alibaba, it's got to be $5 to $2.50 to $5.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes as a premium condom. A condom normally runs 71 cents to $1.10 per. So, but this is far, far, far better than a condom. So, and it right now we have it. Have you seen the blue pull tabs on the thing?
Yes, I saw the photos there that you sent us.
Yeah. So we've eliminated the blue pull tabs. So we have a little tab for, pulling the release paper off of the adhesive part and off of the back part to kind of reveal the condom. So it's now about as easy to manufacture as a Band-Aid. Huh. So it's a condom, to make a condom costs about a penny, because it's just a dip product. They dip it in, like latex, and
it just rolls off.
It just rolls off. They heat it and it rolls off. So, I'll never get down that low. So,
well, hopefully it's worth it if it's, so much more pleasure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, to tell you the truth, I don't know if you've ever tried to buy a Viagra. A Viagra costs $55 for one pill.
What? Really?
Yeah. It used to be like $8, right? But somehow that price has gone up. Now you can get kind of like a generic that's for something else, kind of like I don't know what it's called, but you can get something more reasonably priced. You can get a lot of them for like $30, and you just have to take 3 of them, and they're like one Viagra. But one Viagra costs $55, and people are buying those, right? People,
wow.
Older gentlemen like myself, and maybe you, John, I don't know, but $55 is insane, right?
No, there was a time I tried it. Of course, you hear that, you're like, sure, more horsepower. And
right.
Even with insurance, it worked out to be about $5 a pill. And I don't know. I know there's a lot going on in the insurance industry, but $55 a pill is it's robbery.
It's robbery, yeah. It is. Particularly since it's been out on the market for a hell of a long time. So, I don't think my insurance covered it. When I went to the pharmacist and ordered it, they go $55. I screamed. What are you talking about?
Is that a year's supply or one? Yeah.
No, one.
One.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but now there's all these.
So
go ahead, sir.
So, I went to a urologist, and he said, well, yeah, get this thing, because, it's kind of like it's prescribed for something else, but it's the same as Viagra. So, it's covered by insurance, and it's very, very cheap and inexpensive, and so you get like 100 for $30. You just have to take 3 at a time.
I could take notes.
So, So you both sound like young pups to me.
Not that young. We're in our 40s. We just sound young because we enjoy the adventure and educating and really...
I thought it was all the sex.
Yeah, who's not interested in sex?
Well, that does keep you young.
Yes, the 21 ejaculations per month to prevent prostate cancer, yes.
Oh, it's for health reasons.
Yeah.
I get it, yep. We're doing it for health.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I tell people that I give this Galactic Cap to, I say, listen, you need to tell your wife that you need to try these out because it advances science in the world. It's like another reason to have sex.
See that? Sex not just for health, but a noble cause, an altruistic cause.
Helps fight depression, too. So, yes, it's very good.
I haven't been depressed in a while.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Well, I tell you, it's what makes the world go around, So, let's see, I was talking to my daughter, and she actually lives over in Austria, and she has a husband, and she's like 29, and he's like 31 or something. So she was talking about somebody else, somebody who was more my age, and she said, what they need is a good screw. But what it told me was my daughter and this guy were having a good screw, because you have that, you could tell that there's that pleasure, when you climax of, you're in bed with somebody naked and you orgasm, and it's just lovely, it's wonderful, and it takes out all that tension, and the world's troubles all jump out the window, and you're happy.
And that's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Well, it's been so much fun chatting with you, Charlie. We had a blast. We learned a lot, too, especially. It's like, hopefully you could come up with the Hammerhead name. I kind of like that because it does look like a hammer.
I like the Hammerhead. It sounds pretty macho manly.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. Hopefully no one confuse it with the Sharknado.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you can put the hammer down. That's kind of like a little tagline.
Drop the hammer on her. I like that.
That's why they sell men big trucks. It's got that testosterone feel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so, how can everyone find you? I know you mentioned the website. How about social media?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram. I'm terrible about this. I have my niece take care of that, and so it's Galactic_Cap is Instagram, and I should know offhand what Facebook and all that sort of thing is, and Twitter, but just look under Galactic and you'll find it. Galactic Cap. If you go to galacticcap.com, it'll show you all the newspaper articles. It'll show you how it works. There's video there. You can order there. And it's easy to remember, galacticcap.com. So that's where I'd send my customers.
Very cool.
Awesome. And you guys could find me everywhere on Living a Sex Positive Life, the website, social media. I also want to remind you, tomorrow's the last day to enter our monthly contest, which is going to be from our sponsor, Kink Crate. They're giving away a metal tickler, vibrating cock ring, whip bind scratch tickets, 2 samples, a packet of Butters lube. So it makes it for a fun, interesting night. Go check out our Facebook page. Also on our Living a Sex Positive Life website, just under giveaways. So you have to like, share, actually review us. Please, please, we do need reviews to share the word on who we are, what we do, and why you like us, or even why you hate us, because I know sometimes I can be a little bit annoying and persuasive and all around Latina.
I still love you, baby.
I know.
If you want to reach me, I'm John C. Luna on Facebook, Twitter, actually now Instagram too. I got on that one, and What's the other one?
Facebook.
Oh, FetLife too.
FetLife. Oh yeah. Well,
yes, share your perversions. We can talk about education. Yes.
Good night, everyone. We'll
Have
see
a good
you
night.
soon.
Okay.
Bye.
It was a ball. Thank you. Good night.